At the end of the day, people all around the world take part in the same ritual that's been around for centuries. They gather at a table or a mat with friends or with family, and they share a meal. The food varies, so do the languages being spoken, but the goal is the same all around the globe: to share the human experience of connecting with people they care about. So what happens when people on one side of the world move to the other, bringing their recipes, their languages, and the best parts of their cultures with them? If you're lucky, you get to share a table and that culture with them and call them friends. Since our last episode of Food for Thought, which was our first episode, I moved to a new home, and there's been a pandemic, and it's because of that pandemic that I met today's guest, Fazila Mansoori. I met her when she was working at the vaccination site where I went to get my very first dose of the COVID vaccine. We talked a little bit about her native country of Afghanistan, and I was so moved by her story. Like so many people from Afghanistan, Fazila was born into a world filled with atrocities that most of us could never imagine. She personally suffered violence and oppression, and as a woman was also denied an education. Yet she risked her own life to educate others secretly in her home. If she was caught, she would have been imprisoned or potentially killed by the Taliban. Her escape to the United States with her daughter was nothing short of courageous. But despite all of that tragedy in her life, she's been determined to turn that tragedy into good, not just for herself and her daughter, but for other refugees as well and the local community. Today, she's offered to share a traditional Afghan dish with me and her remarkable story. I'm sure you will be as inspired by it as I was. So what are we making today?
We make from my country. It called Kabuli palau. Like actually, the name is Kabili palau, but people are
Kabali
they
palau.
say to boil water, then we can
And then we'll drain the rice.
Drain the rice.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll get a pot.
Okay. You said you have a drainer for the rice.
Right now it's in the sink.
Oh yeah. Yes.
In
yes.
case
Yes.
you need it there.
I need it. Yeah. So I think
Okay.
I need hot water to boil it.
And I'll get
Can
the
you
oil.
please turn? Yeah. Can you please turn on this thing?
Sure, is this burner okay?
Yeah.
Okay. High heat?
High heat. High.
Okay.
Yes.
You got it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you. So are we just waiting for that to boil?
Yeah, waiting for it to boil for 5 minutes. Then we can drain it. Then I will show you how to do the rest.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. It should be drained like.
Okay. That probably releases the aroma and
Yeah.
blends it a little.
Can you please do this?
I would be happy to, sure. Should I break up the seeds?
All.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Oh my God, that smell.
Yeah.
I wish you could smell this. You know, Fazila, in my background, I'm Italian and Irish.
Okay.
For Italians, food is everything. When we cook, we kind of look at a meal not just as something you eat. You know, you savor it and you talk with family or friends for hours. And how is food perceived in Afghanistan?
Oh, in Afghanistan, the first thing in Afghanistan, the food is from Afghanistan, like from the people. Like we not use like kind of Italian food or German food or Iranian food. No, we have just our own food.
Afghan
like
food.
Every provinces, every cities, they have their own food. So different places in another province or another city, you see different food in there. The good thing in Afghanistan, they are very hospitable people. If you go to their home, and they not let you go until you not eat. When it's 12 o'clock or it's morning, you have to have breakfast there. If it is 12 o'clock, you have to have the lunch. If they are very poor and they don't have anything to give to the guests, they go borrow some money from the neighbor, and I have a guest, and I will return your money when I find the money, without any writing without anything. Like if I have money and I give a cash, so I know you will bring it back.
Because you want to be good to your guests. Okay, this is an interesting question. I read that in Afghanistan, and maybe this is the old way, I don't know if it's still this way, but I read that if you go to someone's home and you compliment something in their home, oh, what a beautiful vase, right? That the Afghan family will offer you the vase.
Yeah.
And so it's really up to the guest to politely say, oh, no, thank you, I just think it's very beautiful. Because otherwise, if you say, oh, thank you, and you take it, they will literally let you walk out of their home with the vase. And possibly be very sad about it.
No, you have to take it and you have to eat it. If you say, no, I don't have a time to eat here, then they put in a ball and like a pack and give it to you. Go eat.
Take it with you to go.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, so maybe Afghans and Italians have a little bit in common, maybe.
Okay, I'm just draining this.
Draining the raisins?
Raisins and put it. Please stay away.
Oh, yes. No, we don't want to get burned. Oh, beautiful.
Okay. Can you give me a cooking spoon, please?
Yes. I've never cooked raisins before. That's
okay.
Oh, it smells great.
Okay. Add some of this just to make it a little soft for the rice.
Okay.
Take off the top.
Okay.
And here, I need this.
You do need this. Okay. You're the boss.
Okay, so this is drain this one, the rice, and go. I already did, like 2 hours ago, I soaked this rice.
Oh, okay.
Now
so
I add this here, but not too much.
Okay.
So I don't measure salt. So
do
now
it by
you see.
eyes and taste.
Yes.
And okay. This is actually kind of enjoyable. It feels good.
Good. Okay.
So Fazila, you know what? We were talking about stereotypes before, and I'm very curious, how you might help me dispel a myth, because I think a negative stereotype about Afghans. Some people, I think, unfortunately, think all Afghans are violent. All Afghans are oppressive of women.
No, it depends to the family. In Afghanistan, like men don't want their wife to go out and work. Why? She should stay home, enjoy the life, take care of the children, go to party, go to friend house.
So it's a matter of pride and wanting to take care of the
wife.
family.
Yes. For example, if a man wants to marry with a woman, he is going to first buy a house and put on her name, and buy a lot of gold and jewelry. Expensive. Yes.
In her name.
In her name. Then he can get married.
So when people around the world see the oppression of women and the violence, it's a smaller group of people, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's most of like Pashto speak people, like tough people and uneducated village people, and they never been in a city, they never been. Their world is very small. So
their
they
world
don't
is
know.
very small,
Very
right.
small. So those people cannot, but no, the educated people.
Well, you're very educated.
Yeah,
and your parents were very progressive, right?
Yeah. My father was, like I told you, he's graduated from German school. He's electric engineer. Now he's retired. He's very old. But he never pressured me to do something, like to not go out, to not go work, to not do anything.
He thought you should have opportunities just like
yes, men. Yes. He likes, we go to school, like now, he's proud of my daughter when she goes to school and she says, oh, go for your school and get your master and PhD. Even he cries sometimes when see us that we are succeeding, we are.
He cries because he's happy with your success.
Yes.
But you must miss them, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
That's hard. I think that your father sounds extraordinary. Like he sounds like a very special man.
Oh,
and your mother also.
Yes.
You know,
okay, I'm sorry,
no,
I need something to cover this.
To cover this. Will this work? Maybe it needs to be bigger. Hold on.
Oh, that cover is for the rice. I need that cover also.
Well, we're going to need 2 covers. Hang on. on.
I think you're not a person to cook a lot.
I end up working a lot.
People like you, when they work, they use a lot of like when they go to Dunkin' Donuts and go buy those things. A little oil.
Do you want to smell this? My God.
Do you guys eat a lot of oil or no?
A lot of
Oil, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think this is enough. So now it's the spicy,
Okay.
and I think.
Okay.
And now I put a little of this here
In the bottom.
in the bottom, and now I mix this with rice and mix them up like this.
I think you cook a lot.
Yes, I do cook a lot.
You're skilled at this, you can see.
Yes. So okay, now I have put half of the rice here, and
Okay.
now I am adding.
Do you need another spoon or a spatula?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm good.
Okay.
Now I am adding half of this rice here. I'll manage my rice, and I'm waiting for my oil to heat.
Okay.
I think this should go here.
So now you were explaining to me sometimes people eat the palau with
Meatball with
or
meat, with beans. This is the sugar that we should fry the sugar for the color of the rice.
Oh, is that how you get the color?
Yes. Yeah, this is the color will come up. Now we will see.
Nice.
When it's fried,
Okay.
then you will see it.
When you go to Afghanistan, I think I read there are certain, like every place has its own table etiquette, right? Is it true that if you are eating in Afghanistan, you should never cross your legs? Is that
Yeah.
because something about the sole of the foot, it means
Yeah.
you're telling someone they're not good enough?
Yes. You have to there is a proper way you have to sit, polite. It's like you put your legs like this. It means like you yourself look like you're very proud. You don't care about the other people sit around you.
Oh, this is why it's so important to understand a culture before you go visit, because you could really offend someone and not have any idea.
See, now I am adding this here.
Yeah.
And now I am adding a little water for the. Yeah. Now to boil it here.
Okay.
And
I should put it back on?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
And now I see if there is salt is okay for this. If no, I can add a little bit to this water.
Okay.
Can I have this salt?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now I add this to this water. To my rice. Now I make it a little.
Oh my God, it smells heavenly.
Now we wait for the 15 minutes. Then
Okay.
It will be ready.
Okay, good. So let's talk about a few things while we're waiting. I mean, so we were talking about gestures.
When you sit, like in Afghanistan, we sit in the floor.
On the floor.
In the floor. You should not raise your legs in front of when you're sitting with the people.
Even if you have pants on,
Even,
because of the feet.
yeah.
Okay.
Even if you have no shoes, nothing, you cannot do this. You're not allowed to do because it's not
polite.
disrespectful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about elders?
For example, if somebody is sitting, you cannot go in front of, go in the back.
Really?
Of the person. When you're in Afghanistan, like when you eat, during your meal, you cannot do like blow your nose.
Blow your nose.
Yeah, blow your nose. No, it's very disrespecting. It's not. You have to go out, go to the bathroom, and come back.
And come back. So just
Don't
take
do
care
it
of
in
anything
front of the
personal
people.
outside of the room.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Hey, did your mother teach you how to make this? How did you learn?
watching my mother, watching my sister, watching. Sometimes me myself adding things like create or something new.
You get
new
creative and try new things.
The thing here in Afghanistan, Afghanistan is poor country.
Yeah.
For example, they have just the bean, put the bean, boil it, add the spicy, add the whatever it needs, just eat with a piece of bread. But here in the United States, there are so many food. The good thing in Afghanistan, every food over there is organic.
Organic and
No.
natural.
Natural.
No preservatives.
No.
So that's harder to find here, or it's more expensive if you do find it.
Yeah.
I think we all want to eat better. It's just,
Yeah.
it's very expensive to do that.
Yep.
You know?
Can you see it's doing tuck tuck?
Oh yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. This is it mean it's like there is no water left. So do we wait another minute?
Okay, so you know what? In that minute, I want to ask you a question. Fazila was in an article in the New Haven Register, I think, when she first came to this country. You said there's a saying in Persia that is, no five fingers are alike.
Oh, that was.
What does that mean?
Yeah, there was a blast in Paris, I think.
In Paris.
Do you remember?
I remember this.
That happened by Muslim people.
Yeah.
They were blaming all Muslim, like so many countries. When they interviewed me, say, as a Muslim woman, what do you think about this? I say, we have five fingers. All are not equal. I am Muslim, but my mind is not like this to go blast a bomb somewhere.
Right.
Like in family, like you have a family, brother, sister. It's like everybody is different. Like something happened in California, can I blame you?
No.
So
Right.
they
so
say,
in other
okay,
words,
don't blame all the Muslim people. It's
Right.
like even in one family there are so many different people. So forget about the countries.
I think so many people forget that though, and
Yeah.
that's why, you know, and
This
when we
is
sit
the,
down,
This is the negative part in America.
It's-
People
it's-
they always think negative about the people, Muslim people.
and I'd like to see that change, but you know what? That's why we're talking today. A lot of people are not lucky enough to meet people that are different, and so
Yeah.
I'm so happy Fazila came to make me this lovely meal and tell us her story, because I think if you can't meet someone who is different in person, then at least by telling your story, some people will see that not all Muslims and not all Afghans are violent, and not all Afghans oppress women, and every finger is different. We're all part of the same world, but everyone should be judged by their own character.
Every finger has their own their work. Don't blame everybody.
And diversity
Muslim,
makes
of
us work
course.
better,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. So
That's the way I feel.
I think we are ready for our rice.
Okay.
Me clean this place.
Let me get a spoon.
I think you should. Yeah, I got the spoon. It's on.
Oh, the spatula. Will the spatula work to take it out of there?
No, this is good.
Okay, I'm going to go
now,
set the table.
See, Lisa.
Look how beautiful that is.
Okay.
Oh, and if you could smell that, so different than anything I've ever eaten. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay. So
Might
now
be easier. To pour.
I wanna take the top. When there is a big invitation, we do like this to make it beautiful. For example, when we make kebab, kind of kebab name is Nargis kebab. Like it's very special. Then we put the kebab around the rice and make it. I will explain that to you.
It'll probably look beautiful.
That's
that way.
come for the bride and groom when they there is wedding. See, these parts have beautiful colors.
Yeah.
So I can make more colors also, like green, like pink.
That smells fantastic.
It is. So I think this is enough for us. If
Oh,
not,
yes.
we will bring more.
If I like it, I don't know. That might just be for me.
Okay. So right now I'm adding the good color on the top.
Beautiful.
Here.
Beautiful. Oh,
Now it's up to
Fazila,
you.
it's gorgeous.
Now it's up to you how to take it and how
Okay.
to eat it.
So here we go to try our first Afghan meal. So I have never had Afghan food before, ever, and this is such a gift.
Okay, so you never had a Afghan
No.
food. Oh, so if there was another like kind of meatball or meat or kebabs or
Normally
chicken legs.
have that with it.
Yes.
This is really interesting because it's savory and it's sweet. It's like nothing I've ever had before. There's we were talking about the spices earlier. There's cardamom and cumin, right? Cumin.
For this kind of rice, you have to have the specific rice for it to make it. For example, if you go buy this rice in a Stop and Shop or Walmart or the other food store, you cannot make this kind of rice from those. They will stick with each other.
So what kind of rice is this, and where'd you get it?
Basmati Sela rice. Basmati, there is a lot of basmati rices. That's white rice, but basmati Sela rice is brown.
So can you get this? Do you have to go to a special store to get this?
Yeah, from India market here in
From the
Coastal
India
Coast.
market. Okay.
Yeah. The both India market has this, not other places.
So what I think is pretty cool about living where we live, when you live in the Northeast, and see again, we were talking about this earlier, there are a lot of people who live in isolated areas here in America, and I'm sure elsewhere in the world too. But if you don't live in a diverse area, it's harder to try these different foods because you don't have access to it. So I feel very lucky that we live in this area of Connecticut because there are so many different populations that live near here.
You know, whatever as a Muslim woman, as a like Afghan woman, whatever I need, I can find it in a store here. Even more than what I was needing.
Right. And you were talking about being creative earlier, so you get to try different things because you have access to all these different
At
things.
the beginning, when I arrived to the country, because of the shopping to go, it's like kind of hard, was hard for me to go find these things. When you're not familiar. In Afghanistan, we have open market, like shops are there. There is a shop only for rice, bean, for chickpeas, like raisins, for these things. There is another shop is for meat, only meat.
But it's all in the
There's another.
same open market.
Yes.
So one of the things that I think, is a shame is that most people in certainly this country, what they see on the news about Afghanistan is the conflict. And a lot of people don't know Afghanistan is known for beautiful carpets, intricately woven carpets, jewelry, your beautiful ring that your mom gave you.
Yes.
There's so much beauty in Afghan culture.
Unfortunately, the media go take a picture or a movie of a very, very violent place. They don't go to the beauty. Every place there is like Afghanistan is a beautiful country. If you go, Afghanistan is in a mountain. It's so nice. It's so pure weather, pure water, drinking water. We don't need to process everything. Like everything is natural. But the media always go. I saw one of the channels was going to the family who they live in a mountain and they don't have water. They're thinking that all Afghanistan is like this. Go to Kabul city, go to Mazar-e Sharif city, go to Kandahar city, what I am belong to. Go see their culture, go see the food, go see how they are hospitable people, how the delicious food they are, see in the mountain, in the gardens. Like pomegranate is one of the delicious, very famous fruit in Kandahar, in all of Afghanistan. Like I saw here, the raisins, I saw when I bought from market, it says Afghanistan raisins. This name made me so like happy
and proud. I'm sure.
Yeah, proud. Yes, because at least there is something like positive things saying that people can see it. This is from Afghanistan, but I am more than 100% sure there are 1,000 other positive and beautiful things about Afghanistan. We have a lot of educated people, professors, good colleges, good schools, good people, good. But please, in the media, I'm asking, don't go film the, what do you call it? The wars, the violence place. And there is like a bomb blast, people run up and down and say the whole Afghanistan is like this. No, it's not like this.
To shift that, despite all of that beauty, there is the reality that the level of conflict has kind of ebbed and flowed. It's risen and fallen. But it can be a hellish place in Afghanistan during more conservative and Taliban rule because of the conflict that started at that very first invasion in 1979, I think. There have been wars and invasions, and that, of course, led to the rise of the Taliban, which is a very conservative movement. Some people have never known peace. And yet, before those invasions, Afghanistan was really known as a very peaceful place.
Yes.
And so, for anyone born or experiencing childhood from 1979 onward, they've not really known peace for 40 years or more. I think a lot of people cannot understand the reality of what that is like. And so, in order to activate people's interests and compassion, I think they need to know more than what they see on the news. And so thank you for being brave enough to talk about this, because I think it will allow people who don't know the other side to have more compassion. Can you explain what it was like to be a woman under those conditions?
I don't know why this, when Taliban come, it was very hard time. The Taliban come to make a peace, but no, that was not peace. That was kind of like worst. They came from Pakistan. Pakistan was the worst part that they sent those Taliban to Afghanistan. So they had the full power on everybody, and they were against women.
And I just want to make sure I understand, because I did a little reading. It's not an area of the world I knew a lot about before I met you. It sounds like the Taliban presented themselves as the solution to all the unrest that had happened because of the invasions and the war from other countries.
Yeah.
And so when the Taliban first presented themselves, the idea was, well, we're going to make your streets safe and we're going to make your communities safe. And it wasn't realized until later that there were going to be very severe punishments for theft and physical punishments and this sort of seclusion and exclusion of women.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Taliban was there. The good one thing was good, it was security. But the worst thing, they never had respect for women.
So what was that like? Because people hear this in the news, but what was it like to live that? What was your day-to-day experience like?
It was so hard to live there. It was so difficult. Like almost 5.5 or 6 years, we were like inside the home, inside.
Only.
We would not able to go to market. We would not able to go to see a doctor. We were not able to go wedding party, school, office, nothing.
You had to stay home.
We were stay home woman.
So
no rights, not allowed to go out. When a woman wanted to go to see a fabric to make a cloth for this, so the woman has to have the brother, father, or the husband with them. For example, this is a shop, and I go to see there is shop. Like I sit 50 meters away from the shop.
Oh.
And I can see the fabric or the clothes are there, but I'm not allowed to go talk with the men. Men was sitting over there.
I see.
My father was connecting between me and the men.
So a male relative had to speak for you.
For me. I'm not allowed to talk. That was the worst part. Like I told you, we were in jail. We were like full of everything. We were fed of everything. I told to my mother, I said, there is no another way to go away from this situation. I want to get sick and go to Pakistan for the treatment. It happened. I was joking, but it happened. I got sick, and my father took me to Pakistan for the treatment.
So women were
allowed
allowed to...
There was a lot of story, Lisa. I don't know which one I should
You can tell me any ones you want to, but it sounds like, okay, so the only way to get help is if you're really sick.
Yes.
So if you have a cold or, God
Oh
forbid,
no, cold. Who care about
a female problem, or you're clearly something's not right. Maybe you're nauseous all the time and something's really wrong, but you'd have to be almost like on your deathbed to go and get help.
Yeah, we call those people sick. Wow. When you have a cold or cough, it's not sick. I'm
so sorry. I'm just so sorry.
Yeah.
What about education?
That time education was hard, but now it's all good.
Things have gotten better.
Yeah,
Okay,
oh,
because
yes.
before 1979, I read that women's rights were improving. A lot of doctors and lawyers, and you know, it seemed very progressive and good for women. Women were gaining equality.
Yeah.
But then in 2001-ish, when the Taliban came into power, I read that it was very hard. I
Yeah.
mean, anyone over the age of 12, any woman over the age of 12 was not allowed to have an education.
They were saying that Islam doesn't not allow the woman to go to get their education, which is not correct.
Right.
I'm against them. I'm a Muslim woman. Quran says, from the day you're born until you die, you have to get education. Education is not something that is enough.
And Afghans in particular really value intellect.
Yeah, there is a politic things in this case, washing their brains, washing their minds in
Brainwashing. Yeah.
making them against these things, which not correct.
Because it's easier to control
Yeah,
a woman
they
that
want
way.
to. They want to control. Right now, there is, it's a lot of better, but the politics is crazy right now. It's right now it's crazy.
Well, things are like in flux right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I know that outside presences have withdrawn, United States included. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I should feel about it. I need to learn more, and so thank you for helping to educate me on what your personal experience has been like. But as I understand it, talks are happening now between the Taliban and the United States and local authorities that are women's rights are at the center of it, because certain groups are saying there really can be no peace unless women's rights are included. And I know that's going to be a challenging topic, but okay, I do want to go back to education though. So women were not allowed an education, and yet you brave woman, had women in your home and you were teaching them the Quran, which, you know, just to remind people, the Quran really talks about doing good in the world, striving for peace, spiritual enlightenment, and keeping your fellow community members at heart always,
Yeah.
right? So you were teaching the Quran, but also English and math.
And language. Because I was teaching Quran for a long time, if they would ask me what I am teaching, I would ask, I am teaching the kids Quran. They would not say anything.
But if they knew you were teaching English and math,
They would kill me.
they would kill you.
Yeah. This is why I include Quran in it, to not, they understand.
Did you have any fear that the families of the daughters that you were teaching would tell them that you were teaching math and English?
No, that time I don't think so. No.
So, but you
was
knew it
not
was a
scared.
risk, right?
It was a risk, yes.
So why?
I don't know why I was young. I didn't know about it.
Oh,
I was not thinking about it. But right now, if I would dare, I would not do anything.
because you've seen what they
Yeah.
are capable of.
If now I go there and I go to my village and they know I came from United States, they will kill me right now.
It would be dangerous for you to go
Yes.
back right now. And okay, this is a very good segue into some very tough topics. If it's okay to say this so people have a sense of context. You unfortunately found yourself in a marriage at a very young age to someone who was less than kind to you.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that. And you found yourself with a child at a very young age as a result. And so eventually, this man was killed by the Taliban.
And when he got killed, so his family forced me to marry with another guy. Then I skipped. Then I run from my country.
So the very first thing that happened was when he was killed, they were ready to marry you off
Yes.
to someone else in their family.
Yep.
And you had a 3-year-old daughter at this point. And they wanted to do the same with her.
Yeah.
Would you?
They don't care how old is she. They just take her. Then by the time she like become 10 or 11, then she will have a baby.
So she would have gone to live with them at 3 and then formally been married when she was
Yes.
12.
I told my father, I say I don't when I was in hell, I don't want my daughter to go this way. I said no, it's not happened. No. Then I told my father told me, and he took me to Pakistan. So I came to Pakistan. Then after 3 months, he brought my daughter with me.
How old were you when you fled to Pakistan?
2009.
You were young.
Yeah.
It's very
32 years. Yeah.
So, knowing what I do know about your parents, because you've shared a little bit about them with me, here's your father, this very progressive man who wants his daughter to be happy and safe and educated and independent.
Yeah. He's happy that I'm safe in this country. If I would in my country, I would die like 15 years ago or 20 years ago.
And your daughter too.
Yeah.
So
They would kill me.
you had no other choice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with these Taliban people, if you are living with them, it's like to kill the people or kill women it's very common for them. It's very easy. Taliban thinks the woman is kind of something that you can use it when you need it. When you don't need it, who care about it?
And I don't know you very long, but one of the things that I liked about you immediately was this spirit you have in you. The audience, certainly doesn't know this, but I met Fazila when I was getting my first COVID vaccine. Fazila works very hard. We'll certainly talk about that a little bit later too, but she was checking people in for COVID vaccinations, and she had this, even with our masks on, she had this very warm eye contact and this very warm energy. And so anyone who knows me knows I talk a lot to everyone because I'm fascinated by people, and I just saw this independent, fiery spirit in you, which, you're teaching people in your home that you're not supposed to be teaching, and your survival instinct, I'm sure, kicked in. I would think that for a woman with that kind of spirit, it's even harder when a conservative group comes in and tells you you're not allowed to look up, you're not allowed to speak, you're not allowed to be seen. Someone like you needs to be seen because you have a lot to say, and you have a beautiful energy about you. So I really, I'm grateful that you managed to escape that. And your daughter too. I'm a mother, and
she's so nice.
I can't imagine what that's like as a mother to have that fear. But all right, so you left Afghanistan. Your father said, I can't protect you and you need to go. And that must have been very hard.
It was very hard.
So you go to Pakistan alone. To kind of scope out the area, and the idea was, if I remember, your father was going to sneak your daughter out to meet you later.
Yes.
Had to be terrifying.
Oh yeah, that was very difficult. I didn't know where I am going. If you never been in a country, and you don't have know the language, and you never and you are scared from everything, and you go to the country, it's creating you a problem. How you feel about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If you go to another country, for example, to enjoy a time and see different country, that's different. When you go, your life is not safe there. When you go, Pakistan was not the place that I could be safe over there because they have open border with Afghanistan.
So you had an open border, which made it easy to cross.
Yeah, it's too easy.
But you also were still a woman in a world where women that are alone are sometimes taken advantage of. How did you?
When I went first there, I find a hotel to live. For 5 days I was there. When I was going out, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to speak with this taxi driver, what to say, where I am going. Then I was knowing a little English, and the taxi driver was like 1-2 words in English, so I could not find this UNHCR, which is United Nations.
The
High
United
Commission.
Nations.
Yes.
Where you thought maybe you could go and get safety.
Yeah, one day I went, I couldn't find it, and I came back. And another day I went, I couldn't find it. One day, one taxi driver was knowing where I want to go, and he directly took me to the SHARP
He
office.
took you right there.
Yeah, when I went there, the guy came and he told me, submit your case, write it, and bring it to us.
But you could only write it down in Farsi, right?
Farsi, yes.
Which was your native language.
Yes. I wrote it. I didn't know what I wrote. I say I'm from there. This was the problem. So I put just one small page, then I gave it to him. And for next day, he asked me for an interview. Say, where is your daughter? I said, my daughter is in Afghanistan. She's coming.
Yeah.
Then the other day, they say, okay, we submit your case to UNHCR. When submit my case, after some time, they send me mail and said, your case is appeal. So what? Why is appeal? Why?
Why did they appeal your case?
I don't know. Then I wrote, I said, are you taking the responsibility of my life that you are appealing my case? I just wrote 3 sentences, just 3 sentences. When I went to the door, one of the guards says, you have to make like 3 pages. Your case is appeal. How you make 3 sentences? I said, this is the main reason of my life. I cannot write all the story, all the things like for nothing. This is the main case. I said, are you taking responsibility for my life here in Pakistan that you are appealing my case? Then they accept me, and they took me back.
And meanwhile, you told me some stories. I was amazed. I think you said at one point you first got to Pakistan and a man in a cab locked all of the doors.
That was I was looking for the UNHCR, and he was locking all the doors to give him money.
So in other words, he was going to not let you out of that car until you gave him money.
Yes.
And to make money, you weren't working. I think you told me.
Yeah, I cried.
You had to sell.
I cried. I was selling my jewelries to buy food for myself. It was so hard, Lisa. I don't know from where I should start. I should tell you. And when I was living in one apartment, my landlord told me, can you make this kind of palau, Afghan palau? I said, I don't have a man at home. I'm not allowed to ask you to come home. He said, okay, you have 2 days, leave the apartment.
So in other words, I'm reading between the lines, making sure I understand. So this landlord asked you if you would make him dinner to have an excuse to be in your apartment alone with you so he could take advantage of you and hurt you.
Yes. And when
and
I
because you
refused,
refused, he evicted you.
Yeah,
he evicted you.
He said, go out. And I had no money, and it was so hot. Like Pakistan is so hot country.
And at some point you had your daughter too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
And I didn't know where to go, what to what I should do, what the hell I should do.
So how long?
Then I wrote this all and gave it to UN. I said, my life is not safe here.
Yeah.
Then they took it from 2009 until 2015. They took my case 6 years. Until they do my background check. When my
so you lived like that for 6 years?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so, I think for me, this is why I think it's important for people to hear these stories, because a lot of people who don't know these stories find it very easy to say, well, there's no reason why anyone should cross a border illegally. Now, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with what should and shouldn't be legal, but what I am saying is, if I was a mother in your shoes, I can't imagine not doing everything within my power to get to safety. And you survived 6 years. Are there women who haven't survived before they got their refugee status? I mean, I've read about women who...
I was the quickest person. When I saw a
because
family,
you stood up for yourself.
Yes. When I saw the family of 4 in an airplane, we were flying and we were sitting next to each other. I said, how long your case took? She said 14 years. I said,
14 years.
It's too much. Then I show you the picture when I was in New York with the United Nations. We had a meeting. Say, anyone have a question? I said, the question is this, that refugees cases are taking so long. She was assistant director of United Nations chief, something like this, I don't know. Then she said, what we should do, I should do it like this, don't take that long. People have problems.
Yeah.
Like when Trump came and said that refugees has to go back to their country. I said, do you know about refugees, where they come from? If you put yourself in instead of me, then you will feel how the refugees are.
I heard stories about women in Pakistan who fled from Afghanistan, who were asked, pushed, coerced into selling themselves sexually in order to survive. And I think you've even confirmed that this, right? The desperation that people must feel to get to safety, to get their children to safety. It's not as simple as, fill out a form and wait a few months. It's 14 years sometimes.
Oh, yes.
So you escaped all of that. And by the way, with a passion for life and a smile and a beautiful spirit and positivity, when so many people would have crumbled or been bitter. And that's not you. And I'm proud to know you, and I'm proud as a woman to see your strength. It really is a testament to your strength and your daughters. And then you come here. And are safe for a while. And then you're hearing refugees might have to go back.
Yes.
What did that feel like?
Oh, that feel like, I say, my problem is not finishing. It's all my bad luck that the United States is sending refugees back to their home. Because I'm here, I was blaming myself. I said, because I'm not a lucky woman, so I saw a lot of difficulties. The people who were around me and say, we will fight for you, we will fight for you, nothing will happen. So it was difficult.
So can I offer you some tea?
Please. Yes.
A few more questions, and you've been so generous with your time, but just want to ask you a couple more. So I think we should shift to your presence here in the United States, because there's such good now in your life.
I am good right now, but I was not good at the beginning.
Well, I wanted to ask you a question about that. And it's because I often think when people come to a new country, well, you talked about it even going to Pakistan, right? If you don't speak the language, you don't know the customs, it can be so different from where you were born. So what was it like here? I mean, I'm sure you felt freedom for the first time, which was probably a good thing, but also probably overwhelming. Were there things that you had to get used to that were different here?
Oh, yes. People were different. Like everything smelled so bad. I say, where I am?
I wonder, what was it? Did you ever find out what that smell was to you?
No, I didn't find it.
Or was it just that maybe...
It was like kind of like the new things, new place. When you go somewhere and you don't know what to do, it smells something like...
It didn't feel
strange.
Like home.
Yeah, and it was hard to find what I was looking for, especially the spicy. I eat a lot of spicy. Hot spicy, and even it's not good for me, but I like to eat it. In the water, they say the sink water is good to drink. It's safe and clean. But and I think they put what do you call chlorine or chloride?
Chlorine.
Chlorine. It smells so bad.
And because you're saying in Afghanistan you had like fresh mountain water.
Yes, we have
so
everything.
Different.
Like we have a lot of like good everything.
How about people?
One day I was walking. I don't know why I was walking, where I was going. I don't remember it. But one person asked me. He says, "Good morning, doll."
Oh.
And I say, "What?" that was a good one.
Because I've read that in Afghanistan, winking at someone is kind of you don't do that.
No,
you could be very easily offending
winking.
a man about his daughter or his wife.
When a person said, maybe I'm a beautiful, this guy told me, doll. So yes,
I'll take it.
Yes, I took it. When I came home, I told my daughter, I said, one guy told me, good morning, doll. See, that
and what did she say?
Hope. She said, who was that? Did you find somebody already?
personality. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing, we wanted to go to adult education to learn more English. It was just 3 months. We were here, and the teacher said, I said, we came just recent, come say, how long? We said 3 months. Oh, welcome, welcome. How are you guys? How have you been? How is everything? Do you like here? I said, yeah. That was giving me feeling so good.
you were welcomed.
So yeah, in hospitals also, when we were going for our appointments, we were talking about this, about my medical situation or PTSD or depression, whatever it was. They were saying, "Oh, you're so good. You can do everything. You can go back to school." If I would be in my country in this age, if I would start a school, you say, in this age you go to school.
Here you
But
can
here-
be 60
Yes.
and go back to school. I read about a woman who went
Here
to
when
law
I was
school.
coming in, I was talking with my psychiatrist and also my medical doctor. They would say, "Yeah, of course you can do. I hope I know. I like politics." They say, "I hope I can see you in a to be like kind of senator or the House representative." So, yeah,
I would vote
work
for
hard.
you. So how did it feel, though, to be able to freely go and get medical help after all the time over there not being able to go? I mean, you had the freedom to get medical care here, which is probably felt very good.
Yeah, yes. When they send me to the the dentist, I still have like a lot of trouble with but they treat me. I feel so good. At the beginning, when I came to this country, if you would ask me, how are you, I would start cry. I would start cry. I am good. I'm not good. I feel so depressed. Feel so sad. But look at me. I'm talking science morning.
Yeah, no,
So
yes.
I don't.
We've
I
been
don't
here
cry.
a while. And she's
Yeah.
been very patient and very generous
Yeah.
to share. But, you mentioned something a minute ago about PTSD.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind me asking, because here's the thing. I mean, it's wonderful that you have all this opportunity, but it's going to take time to heal. I mean, I think you mentioned there are still some things that just bring back a memory. So like I think you said something about walking down the street. If someone is a little too close behind you, you
At the
worry.
beginning, it was,
Yeah.
oh my God, I was scared from every single person who was coming.
How about now? I mean,
Now,
that was a
oh
long
my
time
goodness,
ago.
I would, now I'm so good. Yes.
I need to tell everybody, because I'm so impressed. You speak 7 languages. Six languages.
6, 7, yeah.
7. You speak 7 languages. You do work that helps other refugees now.
Oh yes, of course.
So tell me about it.
I do interpretation for them. I speak Pashto. Pashto is one of the language that it's very hard to find interpreter for this. That's why I work with 4 companies as a Pashto, Dari, Farsi, and Hindi language
So for
interpreter.
independent companies?
Independent
You used to
companies.
work for the UN, right?
Yeah.
So-
that
and-
was in my country.
And you work 3 jobs.
Now,
Yeah. More.
more. Yes.
So you work as a translator. What else do you do?
I was working as a tutor and was a receptionist as a Yale vaccine clinic.
Okay, so here's something that I think is really cool about you. Moms always want to give everything to their kids, and your daughter, as I remember, is super smart.
She is, yes.
Right? But the cool thing, the thing that I just find so amazing is she had not, tell me if I'm wrong, she had not gone to school at all when you guys arrived here in the United
Yes.
States. So for her to be able to go to college, which was coming up because that was her age, she had to get a high school equivalency diploma.
Yes.
And because you taught her on the side,
Yeah.
when women weren't supposed to be getting an education, because you taught her, she was so smart that she was able to get her GED fairly quickly,
High school diploma.
her high school diploma, and
Went to
now
Gateway.
she just graduated.
She went to high school and graduated from high school and went to Gateway, transfer from Gateway to Quinnipiac University.
Quinnipiac
and now
University.
she's graduating from biochemistry, biophysics, and minor math.
I am so
And
impressed.
she's the smartest student.
Oh my God! And but you taught her
And
to
it's
give her that
6.5
start.
years I'm in this country.
Okay, so
So we decided that she should go first to the school, finish it. I work.
right.
I work and support her as financial what she needs. When she's done, I go to school. Like I already started to go to school in June, like 2-3 days ago. It's like I started.
So you started,
I
right?
already started. Yes, I did my 2 assignment yesterday.
And
So
what are you
she is
studying?
business management.
Look at you smile.
Yeah. So fortunately, I am getting support a lot from around
Yeah.
and from government that I am
Yeah. So
go to school.
what are you dreaming of? What are you hoping to do when you finish with school? What would your dreams be?
My dreams be to be very successful woman. Then dream another dream that I came as a refugee in this country that we already had like a refugee international day is coming, World International Day is coming June 20th. We already had a meeting about it. My dream is to help other people. It's give me like very good feeling when I do help and I make somebody happy. For example, one of the example is today. I didn't go to work. I say no, it's good. When she's happy and I'm a little sick, the flu in my sore throat,
Oh
I say no,
no.
I would stay home today. I would never go. But I say no, I want to go because
I'm so
she
glad
was
you
so
did.
excited the last time. When I went there, it's okay. I want to go there and I want to do this.
Yeah. I just really, really want to thank you for taking all this time and being
Oh,
so
my
generous
pleasure.
with it. I've learned a lot. I hope other people will too. But I would love to leave on a cultural note. So, is there a saying in Farsi that leaves someone with a blessing or a goodbye or a farewell that you could tell us in Farsi and then tell us what it means?
Thank you is tashakur. Goodbye is Khuda Hafiz. It means God protect you.
Say it one more time.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khoda Hafiz. May
Hafiz.
God protect you.
you. In tashakur means thank you.
I love it. Thank you.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Fazila. Cheers.
My pleasure.